Part 1. Bill and the Coyotes. Pecos Bill was born in the east of the United States in the 1800s. He had a lot of brothers and sisters. Bill was the baby of the family. When Bill was about 2 years old, his mother and father decided to move to the west. They wanted to be pioneers. They liked the adventure of the frontier. One day they put all their possessions in a covered wagon and began their journey. The family crossed forests, mountains, rivers, and plains. They saw many new things. They met friendly Indians. When they arrived in Texas, little Bill fell out of the covered wagon. His brothers and sisters didn't see him fall out. His parents didn't see him fall out. That evening, his parents looked for him. They looked everywhere, but they did not find little Bill. They were very sad, but they continued their journey. Little Bill was all alone in the plains of South Texas. He was an intelligent child. He looked around. He saw mountains, cacti, and other small plants. It was very hot. Then he saw a cave. He went inside the cave and slept. He slept for a long time. In the cave, there was a family of coyotes. There was a mother coyote and 5 small coyotes. The mother coyote liked little Bill. She decided to protect him. Bill liked his new mother and his new brothers and sisters. He played with the little coyotes. The coyote family was kind to him. He copied the coyotes and learned to run and eat. He learned to drink water from the river. At night, Bill howled at the moon with the coyotes. Bill learned to speak the language of the animals. Soon Bill forgot about his human family. He thought he was a coyote. Many years passed, and Bill grew up. One day, when he was about 20 years old, Bill was at the Pecos River with the other coyotes. He drank water with them. A cowboy saw him and asked,
"Why are you drinking water in that way? You aren't a coyote."
Bill looked at the cowboy and said,
"Yes, I am."
"No, you're not a coyote,"
said the cowboy.
"Of course I'm a coyote. This is my coyote family,"
said Bill.
"Where's your tail?"
asked the cowboy. Bill looked in the water of the Pecos River to see his reflection. He didn't see his tail. He looked and looked. He turned around and looked again. He was surprised. He didn't have a tail.
"You're right. I'm not a coyote. My name is Bill. I'm a human. This is a big surprise for me,"
he said. The cowboy laughed, and Bill laughed too.
"My name's Tall Tom, and I'm a very tall cowboy. This is the Pecos River, and I will call you Pecos Bill. Come with me, Pecos Bill. You can be a cowboy with me. We can work together at the Longhorn Ranch."
"What's a cowboy?"
asked Pecos Bill.
"A cowboy watches and guards the cattle and horses. He takes cattle from Texas to other places. People from the east buy our cattle. They like good meat. A cowboy is a strong, courageous man."
Pecos Bill wanted to be a cowboy. He said goodbye to the coyotes. He was sad to leave them. They were his friends. Then he said to Tall Tom,
"Let's go to the ranch."
The cowboy gave Pecos Bill some cowboy clothes. Pecos Bill looked at the clothes and laughed. Then he put them on. Tall Tom rode his horse. Pecos Bill walked near him because he didn't have a horse. It was a sunny day. The sky was blue and the sun was hot. Part 2. King of the Cowboys. Pecos Bill and Tall Tom traveled under the hot sun. It was a long journey. When they arrived at the mountains, it was evening. Pecos Bill said,
I'm tired. Let's sit down and rest.
That's a good idea,
said Tall Tom.
My horse is tired and thirsty.
He gave his horse some water to drink. Pecos Bill and Tall Tom sat down under a big tree. There was a blackbird in the tree. It sang a happy song. Pecos to the blackbird. They had a long conversation. Pecos Bill and Tall Tom ate some biscuits and drank some water. Pecos Bill gave the blackbird some of his biscuit. Tall Tom sang a western song.
But remember the Red River Valley, and the one that has loved you so true.
Pecos Bill liked it and asked,
What's the name of the song?
It's called Red River Valley. Many cowboys in Texas sing it,
said Tall Tom. Tall Tom made a fire, and they talked about a cowboy's life. They looked at the stars in the night sky. Then they fell asleep. Early the next morning, they began their journey to the ranch. After 2 days, they finally arrived at the cattle ranch. The other cowboys were happy to meet Pecos Bill. Welcome to Longhorn Ranch, said the cowboys. The ranch was very big. There were longhorn cattle everywhere. They ate grass and drank water at the river. Pecos Bill saw the cowboys on their horses. Every cowboy had a long rope in his hands.
I want to be a cowboy,
Pecos Bill said to Tall Tom.
What must I do?
First, you must find a horse. Second, you must have a rope. Then, we must take all the cattle to the Red River Valley. We must sell the cattle there. The Red River Valley is far away. It is a long, difficult journey.
Pecos Bill looked around. He saw a black horse near a cactus. No one wanted to ride that horse. He went to the horse and talked to it in animal language. The horse didn't answer. Pecos Bill got on the horse. He tried to ride it. After a few moments, the black horse bucked him off. Pecos Bill tried again. The black horse bucked him off again.
You're a bucking bronco. That's your new name. Bucking Bronco,
said Pecos Bill to the horse. Bucking Bronco bucked Pecos Bill off for 3 days. He did not want a master. Pecos Bill was strong and determined. He wasn't afraid of Bucking Bronco. He wasn't afraid of anything. Bucking Bronco was a beautiful horse, but he was very wild. On the 4th day, Bucking Bronco stopped bucking. He understood that Pecos Bill was a special cowboy. Pecos Bill was very strong. Bucking Bronco knew that Pecos Bill was his new master. Pecos Bill and Bucking Bronco became good friends. Together they roped the cattle of Texas. Together they took cattle from Texas to other states. Pecos Bill became a famous cowboy. He was the best cowboy at the rodeos. Everyone knew him and liked him. He became the king of the cowboys of Texas. After a few years, Pecos Bill met a beautiful woman called Sue. She was very friendly. Her home was near the Rio Grande River. Pecos Bill loved her and she loved him. One sunny day in April, they got married. Everyone at the Longhorn Ranch celebrated the wedding. There was an exciting rodeo. There was music, dancing, and a lot of good food. Soup Sam, the friendly cook, organized a pie-eating competition. Tall Tom's favorite food was apple pie, but he did not win the competition. His friend Big Bob won the pie-eating competition. Big Bob ate 88 apple pie. Pecos Bill and Sue were very happy at the Longhorn Ranch. Pecos Bill never forgot his friends the coyotes, and he never forgot the language of the animals.
Chapter 3. 3 Plans. Stop thinking about how bad the problem is, Aaron. You need to be sensible. The voice in my head is right. I must be sensible. This has to be my rule from now on. The first thing I need is a drink. Without stopping to think, I take the water bottle from my bag and drink a third of it in 5 seconds. I suddenly realize what I'm doing and pull the bottle out of my mouth. Already, I have broken my rule to be sensible. I have no idea how long I will be here. This means that the most important thing of all is to save water. Damn it, Aaron. Stupid. 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 6 hours 43 minutes. 3:28 p.m. It's almost 45 minutes since my accident. I am calmer than before. For the last half hour, I've been thinking of my best chance of escape. I said I would meet Christy and Megan after the hike. If I don't appear, will they go to my truck to find me? I won't be there. But will they realize that something is wrong and go for help? The answer is probably no. Christy and Megan don't know me very well. They'll just think that I decided not to meet them. What about other hikers? Will they find me by chance? Again, the answer is probably no. Very few people travel to the Great Gallery from this end of the trail. My friends won't worry, either. They weren't completely sure I was going to the party. Even on Monday evening, my housemates will just think I'm late getting back. No one will miss me until Tuesday morning. When I don't arrive for work, Brian after, my boss, will know that something is wrong. I am never late for work. He will probably call my family, and they will tell the police that I am missing. But I didn't tell anyone exactly where I was going, so it will take the police days to find me. If I don't escape before then, I will die. All of this means that I will have to get out of here alone. But how? I can think of 3 possible plans. The first plan is to use the large knife on the multi-tool to chip at the boulder. This might take away enough of the rock to free my hand. The second plan is to try and lift the boulder using some of my equipment. The third plan is the worst. I could amputate my arm using the multi-tool. It's too soon to think of that idea. I try plan 1. I take the multi-tool from my climbing bag. It has 2 knives. One is longer than the other. I use the longest one, which is not so sharp. To free my hand, I must remove a piece of rock over 15 centimeters wide and 7 centimeters deep. That's a lot of rock. 10 hours 15 minutes. 7:00 p.m. I've been chipping at the rock for almost 3.5 hours. I stop for a drink of water. I lay the multi-tool on the boulder and reach for the water bottle. This time I am more careful and take only a sip. I wonder how long I'll be able to survive with the water I have left, only 2/3 of a liter. Until Monday night, maybe. Tuesday morning at the latest. Chapter 4. Night and Day. After Christy and Megan left Aaron, they got lost in the West Canyon and arrived late at the meeting place. He wasn't there. He's probably left already, said Megan, but he can't be far away. Let's drive around and see if we can find him. But there was no sign of Aaron or his bike. It doesn't really matter, said Megan. We'll see him at the party. Again, she was wrong. By the time they reached Goblin Valley, the car park was full and there was nowhere to stay for the night. The girls now felt very tired and decided not to go to the party. We'll drive to Little Wild Horse Canyon tomorrow morning, said Megan. We'll probably find Aaron there. Christy agreed and they parked by the side of the road for the night. The next morning, there was no sign of Aaron at Little Wild Horse Canyon. All they found was a truck from Colorado, with a bike inside and skis on the roof. That's probably Aaron's truck, said Megan. He must be in the canyon already. We've missed him again. She wrote their email addresses on a piece of paper and left it on the truck window. Why didn't we just get his phone number? Megan asked as they drove back to Moab. 15 hours 15 minutes. 12 a.m. My headlamp is on and I'm chipping at the boulder. I've managed to chip a space above and below an area of pink rock. Perhaps I can remove this large piece before I stop for the night. I will need to hit it hard. I don't want to break the knife, so I use a different part of the multi-tool. I hit the boulder as hard as I can and the piece of rock falls onto my trapped arm. I can now see some softer rock below. I chip at the rock for another hour and remove as much as the piece that came off before. More success, but my left arm hurts and I have to stop. I take a sip of water. I have decided to do this every 90 minutes. I look up at the sky. It's a clear night and it's very cold. Now that I've stopped chipping, I feel cold. The wind is the worst. Every few minutes, it blows down the canyon and makes my body shake. I decide to use my climbing bag as a jacket to keep warm. I lay everything inside it on top of the boulder. Then I put the bag back on. I'm a little warmer, but I need something soft to put my legs on. I take my rope, form it into a circle, and lay it on a rock below me. Now I can rest my knees instead of standing up all the time. After a while, I begin to feel uncomfortable again. The problem is the weight on my legs. I decide to try and build some kind of seat. I put on my harness and rope. Then I tie carabiners to one end of the rope and make a kind of ball. The idea is to throw the rope over one of the boulders above my head. If I do it right, the ball will stick in the space between the boulder and the canyon wall. It takes 25 throws before it lands in the right place. Now, will it hold my weight? I sit in the harness. It holds. Success. I feel very happy. But I'm not comfortable for long. I soon need to move again. I stand and chip for 20 minutes, then sit and rest for 20 minutes. This becomes my routine. As morning comes, I'm not feeling too unhappy. This first night was not as bad as I thought. I've done quite well, but one thought still worries me. I haven't chipped much rock from the boulder. At this speed, it will take me 150 hours to free my trapped arm. Chipping is not enough. I will have to think of something else. Chapter 5. A sad message. 23 hours 30 minutes. 8:15 a.m. I am feeling optimistic. The sun is shining into the canyon, and a raven, has just flown across the blue sky above my head. The sight and sound of the bird fills me with hope. I hold my leg in the sunlight. It feels warm against my skin. But I need to do something. It's time for Plan 2. I will use my ropes, webbing and carabiners to try and lift the boulder and free my hand. I look up. There's a sharp piece of rock above my head. If I can throw the rope around this, it might hold everything in the right position. After many tries, I finally succeed. I tie the other end of the rope around the boulder. But when I pull, nothing happens. Everything holds, but the boulder doesn't move. I put more weight on the rope, but it still doesn't work. The rope is not tight enough. 28 hours 15 minutes. 1:00 p.m. I've spent 4 hours trying to lift the boulder, but nothing has worked. Suddenly, I hear voices. Help! Help! I shout. I stop and listen. At first, there's nothing. But then I hear a sound from above and realize my mistake. It's just a small animal moving in the rock. I'd imagined it was people. The sound of my voice shouting for help frightened me. It made me feel lost and alone. I make a promise that I won't do it again. The optimistic feelings of earlier in the day have disappeared. No one is going to save me. That leaves only the third, and worst, plan. I will have to amputate my right arm. What will I need for the job? The knife, that's certain, but also a tourniquet to stop the blood. The plastic pipe from the camelback seems best for that. I take it off and use a carabiner to make it tight. It works well and I feel a bit better. As soon as I put the knife against the skin of my arm, I feel ill. I can't do it. It would be like killing myself. I drop the knife and lay my head on the boulder. None of my plans have worked. I can't free my hand. I can't lift the boulder. I can't amputate my arm. My only hope is rescue, but I'll die before help arrives. I feel angry with the boulder, but it's not the boulder's fault, it's mine. Everything about this stupid adventure was a mistake. I didn't tell anyone where I was going. I didn't go with Christy and Megan to the West Canyon, and I didn't get off the boulder when it moved. 30 hours. 2:45 p.m. It's exactly 24 hours since the accident. I decide it's time to film a message for my family and friends. I place my camcorder on the boulder, turn it on and start speaking. My name is Aaron Ralston. It's just after 3 o'clock on Sunday, April the 27th, 2003. I have been trapped in Blue John Canyon for the last 24 hours. My parents are Donna and Larry Ralston of Eaglewood, Colorado. If anyone finds this, please give it to them. Thank you. I describe all that has happened in the last 2 days. As I reach the end of my story, I feel very sad. I know this could be a final goodbye to my parents and sister, Sonia. After telling them how much I love them, there is only one more thing to say. Mum, Dad, Sonia, I'm sorry. I turn off the machine. All I can do now is wait for someone to find me. Chapter 6. Waiting. 33 hours 15 minutes. 6 o'clock p.m. My second night in the canyon is moving closer. Beyond that, I see no future. Escape has been impossible, and I will die before anyone finds me. I feel strong enough to survive the fear of death, but not my body's need for water. This terrible, growing thirst will drive me crazy. I now have only a quarter of a liter of water left. I have to make this last as long as possible. I drank at 3:15 p.m., just after I finished filming. Then I missed the next drink, and decided to save it for later. I'll drink at 9, midnight, 3 and 6 in the morning, but I'll take even smaller sips. The mosquitoes have found me. There are several at my feet, and some drinking the blood on the canyon wall. I kill 5 or 6 as they circle around my head. Can I eat them, I wonder? Even if I could, it wouldn't be enough to keep me alive. I go back to waiting. It seems colder than the night before. I start chipping at the boulder just to keep warm. 36 hours 15 minutes. 9 o'clock p.m. Night has fallen. The mosquitoes have gone. The sky above is beautiful, clear with bright stars. But clear skies mean lower temperatures. I must do something to cover more of my body. I tie the camera bag around my left arm. Then I tie webbing around my right arm, and put rope around each of my legs. I do the same for my right arm, using webbing. I put rope round each leg. It looks funny and I can't help smiling. I begin my routine of standing and sitting. Most of my body feels warmer, but I'm still shaking because my head and neck are cold. I decide to put the plastic rope bag over my head. I keep the far end open to let fresh air in. I lay my head against the boulder. I still can't sleep, but at least I'm warmer. The long, boring hours of the night pass slowly by. Finally, the sky grows lighter. Today, it's a dirty white color. I wonder if this is cloud. Clouds at night are good because they trap the day's heat in the canyon, but clouds during the day are bad because the sun doesn't warm the air. There's also the chance of a storm. Slowly the pale sky turns bright blue. It's going to be hot again. As always, the light and warm air make me want to do something. I try and lift the boulder again, by pushing down on the rope with my feet. This doesn't work either, and I feel suddenly hopeless. What more can I do? No voice inside my head suggests anything useful. All I see in my mind are pictures of the food and drink left on the floor of my truck. I think again about amputating my arm. I didn't try hard enough the last time. I need to be brave and try again. I put on the tourniquet and make it tight. When everything is ready, I try to cut through the skin of my arm with the longer knife. I push hard, but the skin doesn't break. Then, over the same area, I use the shorter, sharper knife. But even that doesn't work. It's still not sharp enough to do the job. All I have for the time I've spent on this is a long red line across my right arm. I take off the tourniquet and go back to waiting. 47 hours 30 minutes. 8:15 a.m. The raven appears. I check my watch. It has arrived at exactly the same time as yesterday. For the first time in 2 days, I need to urinate. I open my shorts and watch the yellow urine disappear into the sand. I spend most of the day chipping, resting, and counting the minutes before my next drink of water. 54 hours. 2:45 p.m. It's the middle of the afternoon and time to film again. Filming has now become a part of my daily routine. I turn on the camcorder. Hi, everyone. It's Monday, April the 28th. I'm still trapped. I've been here for exactly 48 hours. That's 2 whole days with no sleep and very little water. I now have only about 1/8 of a liter left. I continue with a message to my sister, Sonia. She is getting married in the autumn. I tell her how proud I am of her, and send her my love and best wishes. I finish filming at 3:35 p.m. It's strange, but I feel the need to urinate again. This time, my second voice tells me not to urinate on the ground. Save it, Aaron. It will soon be all you have to drink. It's good advice. I urinate into the camelback. The urine is now a dark orange color. The other urine was clearer. Why didn't I save it? 57 hours 15 minutes. 6 o'clock p.m. It's early evening. Sunlight shines off the bottom of thin clouds high above me. I hope they will stay and keep the heat in the canyon. But as time passes, it seems to grow colder. My water won't last much longer. Soon, I will have to start drinking urine. Like the raven, the mosquitoes seem to arrive on time. I kill a few more. Mosquitoes mean there must be water quite close, probably at the Big Drop Rappel. Forget it, Aaron. You'll never see water again. The first voice is back. I try not to listen.